Hello, my friends. Happy Friday. You know what it is today? It's National Donut Day. Yep. And you know what? I had a donut. And you know what? I have to play with my hair because that's me on YouTube. What's up? It's a Friday, June 7th, 2019. And mainly I'm here to tell you about what's happening next Friday, June 14th at 9 a.m. Pacific time. I will be doing a YouTube Live somehow. I have to figure out because I think that's new since there is no more Google Hangouts. I need to figure out how to do that in the next week or so. But I will be live with Dr. Matthew Weiner, who is a bariatric surgeon extraordinaire. He used to be in Michigan. Now he's in Arizona. He is author of A Pound of Cure, and we're going to be talking about regain and revisions. And it's funny when I message him to see if that was an okay topic. He goes, "Well, yeah, I guess that's what everybody's talking about now since so many VSGs are being done." I was like, that's not good. What does that mean? So if you have questions about regain, revision, or other, you can send me your other questions. And if we have time, we'll get to them. But basically, that's what we're going to talk about next week at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And I'll send out all the reminders on wherever, all those social media platforms, or really just Instagram, because Instagram is where I like to live. Maybe Twitter. Maybe I don't do that much Twitter. Anyway, did I say today's National Donut Day? Because today is National Donut Day, and I think that's important to talk about because donuts, right? So let me tell you about I really don't have a lot of weight loss stuff to talk about. I'm only weighing once a week. This is a big thing for me because I have been a daily weigher forever. So I don't weigh until Sunday. I'm trying to, like, this is a newsflash to you guys. I'm trying to figure out all the things. I'm considering going back to OA meetings. Overeater. I'm like Obesity Anonymous, Obesity Help. Where am I going? Overeaters Anonymous. Considering going back to those meetings because it is just so clear to me if I am eating from a conscious place, I don't have a problem. I'm not that hungry. I'm not that driven by food. But when things are happening emotionally, my response to fix all the things is food. And, I think I talked about this a little bit on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. I like to play on Instagram. It's Bless and Release Baby. I change my name every 5 minutes. Not every 5 minutes, but used to be Bariatric Badass. Now it's Bless and Release Baby. But I had a friend who was moving last weekend, and they had not asked me to help them move. But I was feeling like I have not had friend time since she got married, which was like in April, early April. And I was like, I really feel the need to connect with a friend and to have that time. And if that means helping her move, okay, I can do that. Why not? So I said, can I come help you move? Which I did, which exhausted me. And I swear to God, we probably walked up and down 100 flights of stairs. And I will work out fairly consistently. My calves have never felt like that before, ever. It was like knives were stabbing me the next few days. But anyway, why I bring that up is because for a change, I was aware of what I needed. I was feeling lonely or something or in need of connection. And instead of just saying, oh, food, that's the answer, let's fix that with food, I actually realized that what I needed was connection with people that I love. And so I did that. And that was like one of those aha moments for me because it was like, oh, wait, look at this. This is something that I realize that I'm feeling, and I'm not initially going to food to fix it. That's a rarity. That doesn't happen that often. Usually I'm going to food to fix it. But it's interesting to learn. It's interesting to start to learn to identify what I need. And I think I've spent so long in my life just stuffing those feelings down and saying, oh, food will numb me out. And I mean, that's how I used food for my whole life, was to numb me out. And so it's interesting that that I'm not doing that. well, I am doing it, but that I'm learning that there are other things that I might need to fill that space. So that's interesting for me. That made me happy that I could recognize that and do something about it. But, bottom line is I am thinking about maybe going back to Overeaters Anonymous. I went a few times when I was early out post-op. The first couple times I found myself wanting to use food um, unconsciously, not unconscious, using food for something other than nutrition. So I may do that. Here's the thing that I'm trying. And what I'm trying is only eating food at the table while not doing anything else. That may actually kill me. I'm not sure. I'm very resistant to it, but I have been reading. My dad got me the set of books by a Buddhist guy whose name I can't remember, and I'm going to say it wrong, Thich Nhat Hanh, something like that. And they're how to eat, how to love, how to live, how to walk, how to something else. There are like 5 of them, and I've been reading the How to Eat one. And it talks a lot about mindful eating. And I realize that also those times when I am eating emotionally, I'm just shoving food in to create a sense of fullness that makes me feel comfort or numb or something. And so I'm going to try this thing where I can pretty much eat what I want as long as I eat it sitting down at the table while not doing anything else. I just started that today with a donut because National Donut Day. And generally, I'm okay with if I want a donut or I want ice cream or I want whatever. I'm okay with it if I make a conscious choice to do it. So I actually had to like drive to the donut store, come back. I put the donut on a plate. I sat at the table and I ate it while doing none of the things like looking at my phone or reading. That's very, um, that's very new for me. So that's what I'm working on right now. Still working out, still trying to drink a gallon of water a day, which is a lot of water for me, and just sort of figuring out what to do. I'm not happy with this regain. And I don't like, I don't know, I'm just not happy with it. So I've got to figure something out that's a long-term solution and not a short-term solution. So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm working on. Super excited to be doing an interview with Dr. Weiner, catching up with him. And how many minutes in? How many minutes in am I? Because I have something. Oh, 7 minutes. Okay, I can talk about this for a couple of minutes. But I just thought this was interesting. Is I'm taking a class at Center for Spiritual Living in my town or the town over, and it's a class on self-mastery. The books for the class are a Science of Mind, Living Science of Mind book, but the popular book is The Four Agreements, which I have to say, and I'm sorry, Foodie Turned Sleevey, I know you, Chella, I know you love this book. I am really not a huge fan of this book because it's such a simplistic. And yes, if you're not going to read anything else in spiritual development, the Four Agreements are good things to read and know and to live. The class is called Self Mastery, and that's one of the books. And one of the things, and so revisiting those agreements and going a little deeper on them is important. But one of the things we did in class last week was to uh, do this thing where we went around the room and shared, if you really knew me, you would know the hardest thing I've ever done is X. And then if you really knew me, you would know the best thing about me is Y. Not Y, at Y, like in an algebra equation. Am I making any sense? But anyway, I thought it was sort of an interesting thing to think about. It was a very interesting thing to share with the people in the group because so often we assume things about people based on very superficial knowledge of them. And I don't know these people in this class because it's at a church that that I don't really go to. So it's not people that I know well. And it's just so interesting to me, the things that make us who we are. And what does this have to do with weight loss or next week's show with Dr. Weiner? Really nothing. But if that's something you wanted to think about and share below what the answers to those questions, I certainly would be interested in hearing what you guys say. What I said in the class and what I realized afterwards were a couple of different things. I think I said in the class that if you really knew me, you would know that the hardest thing I've ever done is to suffer a pretty incredible amount of loss in my life and still have an open heart. But really, push comes to stuff in really thinking about it. If you really know me, you know the hardest thing that I've ever done is to raise a really amazing young man pretty much by myself. So, yeah, I think that's probably the hardest thing. But it is also a hard thing to experience a lot of loss and to still be open and have an open heart and be willing to keep trying. And um, yeah. And if you really know me, you would know the best thing about me probably is that I am a very, 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 very forgiving person 95% of the time. So those are my things. Do you want to share yours below? You don't have to, but if you want to, might make a good conversation. All right. I hope you guys can turn in live on Friday to hear Dr. Weiner. If you if you subscribe to me, you'll get a notification that I'm going live. If you aren't already subscribed, and if you click on that little bell, I think there's a bell somewhere around here, it will actually ding and notify you when I go live. So anyway, hope you guys show up because there's like a little chat. We can have a conversation and would love to do that. So, all right, I will see you guys next Friday. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.